First of all, though, they say that jazz musicians don't dress smartly anymore. Check this guy out. I mean, unquestionably, Sean, that is the best suit we had, I reckon, ever at Jazzing Around. And also, if you get a chance later on, take a look at your shoes as well. Very, very, very smart. Without this man, there would be no Jazzing Around. Welcome back.
Thank you. Really happy to be here.
Welcome back to one of your spiritual homes. Sean, together with Richard and Dave and myself, are the people who put this together 15 years ago. And Sean, give us a little bit of your background. You have a very interesting history in music and education and culture in general. So, big question, but just give us a little potted history of what you're all about.
Thank you, Jez. I mean, I moved down to London from Huddersfield when I was 19 to attend the Royal Academy of Music. It was the first time they were doing like a jazz degree. But prior to that, I'd met Courtney Pine and Gary Crosby. As a teenager, I got into the music very young, like really heavily into it. And I met Courtney and Gary at Leeds Trades Club in Chapeltown in Leeds when I was like 13. And I kept in touch with them ever since. So I was always dreaming about being in the Jazz Warriors. And when I moved down to London, I started playing with that incarnation of the Jazz Warriors and getting involved with, there wasn't any Tomorrow's Warriors at the time, but with Gary and all that scene. And I had something of a career as a player, played with lots of reggae artists and lots of Keziah Jones and Ty and Terry Walker, the whole kind of neo-soul thing in the 2000s, and lots of Latin bands. And I always really struggled a lot with my, I guess, you could say self-confidence, but really it was internal struggles with it. And I'd walk away from music now and again. But then I was really into education and worked for Tomorrow's Warriors as their first education officer. Worked with Janine and Gary really on kind of designing a vision for the future, and it's amazing what they've achieved since then. I worked with them, I worked at the Roundhouse, which was amazing when that first opened up, Trinity Laban. Then I went on to found my own multi-faith big band, the Human Revolution Orchestra, that was inspired by my Buddhist practice. And we ended up doing a series of inaugural International Jazz Day concerts in London with people like Robin Eubanks and Benny Maupin and Mark Carey, and it was an amazing lineup of British musicians, really broke some kind of real perceived barriers at the time. But then in 2018 I stopped playing completely, sold my instruments, vowed never to play again, and then I had some dental problems. I lost my bottom teeth, so it looked like I was never going to play again even if I wanted to. During lockdown, got into like a really very low place. But with encouragement from my wife and some friends back up in Huddersfield where I moved back, I just started, like, somebody lent me a trumpet and I started playing every day. And it just came back, and it's been a kind of transformative experience for me really, to finally be able to express myself with my music that I always wanted to do, but the instrument and my own head was a big barrier. But yeah, I've got this amazing lineup of brothers and sisters that have come together. We've recorded an album, great lineup on there, some special guests, Sultan Stevenson, my boyhood hero Courtney Pine, Julie Dexter, and a guy that I've worked with that's been a really big influence on me called Drew Gonzalez from Trinidad. Is a singer and songwriter, like a latter-day griot really, on the album. And the first single came out last Friday, Divine Days, featuring Courtney Pine. And the album will be out at the end of July, so that's my potted history, Jez.
I heard the album, and we're starting to play the music on the radio now, and all I can say is when Sean got in touch and he said, I've got this new record, and I was like, what's this going to be like? And then when I heard it, I was like, this is really brilliant. And it's like all I can say is it kind of, in these sort of sometimes dark and depressing days, it sounds like what we all love Britain to be like. You know, it's a real representation of so much that we all love about our culture, and I think we're in for a treat here. So thank you so much for giving us the honour of this being your first ever gig. Please welcome the Solomon Gundy Band.